Order. Honourable Tau Henare.
Do that, Mr. Speaker.
Order. The member will just ask his
question is to the Minister of Internal Affairs, sir. How many applications for funding have been received by the New Zealand 2011 Festival Lottery Fund?
Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Nathan Guy.
Mr. Speaker, I'm very pleased to tell the House that there has been an overwhelming response to this new fund launched by the Prime Minister and myself in July. The Department of Internal Affairs has received 482 applications for grants from around the country, totalling around $70 million. There is $9.5 million available to support community festivals and events coinciding with the Rugby World Cup, which can include things like concerts, fairs, exhibitions, street markets and parades. Funding decisions will be announced in November.
The Honourable Tau Henare.
Thanks, Mr. Speaker. What has been done to help applicants from the Canterbury region who were... Shall I start again?
Order.
What has been done to help applicants from the Canterbury region who were disrupted by the earthquake?
The Honourable
Speaker.
Nathan Guy.
The disruption to the Canterbury region meant that many groups needed extra time to prepare for their applications. As Minister, I announced an 11-day extension to the deadline for those in the quake-affected area to ensure that Cantabrians had a fair go. We want to ensure that every region in New Zealand makes the most of the Rugby World Cup next year.
Chris Hipkins.
Supplementary question to the Minister. When Murray McCulley told him to establish the 2011 Festival Fund to prop up John Key's ever-diminishing party central plans, did he point out to him that establishing this fund would result in less money being available for many worthy community groups who rely on lottery grants for their survival? And if he didn't, will he concede that had a stronger minister been in office, these groups may well have been better off?
The Honourable Nathan Guy.
I can't believe the stupidity of that question, Mr. Speaker. But can I answer that by trying to reassure that young member of this House that increased revenue for the New Zealand lotteries means that all other committees are getting the same allocation as last year, $153 million.
Te Oro Flavel.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister, what criteria does he have in place to ensure applications submitted to the fund by Māori recognise their unique contribution as tangata whenua? If so, what are they?
The Honourable Nathan Guy.
Mr. Speaker, that member will be pleased to know that the guidelines for the independent committee specifically require them to recognise the needs and aspirations of Māori and their protocol. The festival's events are about involving communities and showcasing New Zealand's culture, so I'm sure that Māori will play a very important role in the Rugby World Cup.
Question number 12, Grant Robertson.
Mr. Speaker.
Point of order, Grant Robertson.
Mr. Speaker, I want to raise with you a question and seek your advice around the lodging of questions to the Associate Minister of Education responsible for special education. That person is Rodney Hide, and it seems that he may be in the House today and will be answering on behalf of the Minister of Education. But I understand from the Clerk's office that I can't put a question to Rodney Hide as the Associate Minister because the government has not yet provided delegations to the Clerk's office. In fact, Mr. Speaker, I could put a question to the Honourable Heather Roy because as far as the Clerk's office is concerned, she still has the delegation. But this is difficult for two reasons, Mr. Speaker. One is that yesterday Mr. Hyde made a comprehensive, an announcement anyway, about the review of special education, and we should be able to hold him accountable in the House for that today. Maybe he will now answer on behalf of the Minister, but as far as we know, he has the delegations. Anne Tolley put out a press release on the 7th of September announcing Mr. Hyde's delegations, and it seems particularly difficult for the opposition to hold a minister to account if we can't actually ask him questions in the House.
Order. The member raises a perfectly legitimate point of order, but the facts of the matter are that where a delegation of responsibility is made to an associate minister by the government, the Speaker and the House must be informed if questions are to be lodged as addressed to the associate minister. Delegations presented to the House on 29 July 2010 have not been represented to the House to take account of recent ministerial changes, and the Speaker must know the nature of the delegation in order to determine whether a question is in order, and so I cannot accept questions to a supposed associate minister if I do not have that determination from the government. Of course, any minister can answer the question. That is a matter for the government. So,
to the point of order,
I'll hear the member briefly further.
Thank you for that statement, Mr. Speaker. And I guess I'm seeking your assistance as an opposition member wishing to hold a minister to account who has made public statements, who the overall minister has announced is the associate minister, whether you as Speaker can provide some assistance to us to get from the government the official delegations so that we can do our job here and hold a minister to account. I don't think it's good for Parliament that an associate minister can make statements in public and then not be held to account for them here in the House. So I would seek your assistance in getting those delegations.
I'll hear the Honourable Rodney Hide briefly.
Certainly, Mr. Speaker, I accept Mr. Robertson's point, and we'll be working to ensure that your office is properly informed. But I will also make the point, sir, that even in the delegations, if you read the question that's put down, it's about resourcing, and of course the Associate Minister for Special Education isn't responsible for the resourcing in education. That is for the Minister.
Order, I appreciate that. No, I won't hear any further points on this because that's actually not strictly that last matter, a matter to do with the order of the House. But the facts of the matter remain that it's up to the government to advise their delegations of associate ministerial responsibilities, and as at this moment I have not had any advised changes, and so the question must be addressed to the Minister of Education, but it's up to the government which minister answers the question. Grant Robertson.
Probationary period.
Point of order, the Honourable John Carter. Order. A point of order is being heard.
Just to help the House, sir, I've taken note of that and the matter will be addressed.
I thank the Minister. Grant Robertson.
Mr. Speaker, my question is to the Minister of Education. How will she resource her goal of having